Have you been in a situation where you get to a lesson and your instructor is just there talking? I'm like thinking, enough of the talking. It's time for me to start driving now. Call them time wasters. This is my own personal story. Not couple of years, but 20 years ago, when I wanted to be a driving instructor, I need help with my part 3. Bless the guy's heart. Was a wonderful guy, but there's a few things that got me really, really upset. Anyway, I found him, and he, at that point in time, he used to live at, I think, Clapham Common, somewhere around there. I went for my lesson. He gave me an appointment for, I'm very sure it was like 11 o'clock. I get there 15 to 11, I remember clearly. And then I give him a call. I'm like, oh, I'm here, He says, okay, no problem. I was waiting, got to 11 o'clock, 5 past 11. About 7 past 11, I see him walking towards my car now. Well, that's fine. Comes inside the car, sits down. Says, oh, please, can you lock the doors? I lock all the doors. Like, okay, no problem. At that point in time, he was charging me £35 an hour. So I was doing 2 hours. That was £70. We're talking about 20 years ago, 21, around that area. Remember, we're talking about 21. That was a lot of money. Anyway, he says, okay, £70. I said, fine. So I give him the £70. This guy sat down and, he took all the Queen's Head facing one direction, all of them. And I give him £70. Yeah, so £10. He kept moving the Queen's Head. I'm there looking at this man like, seriously, does the Queen's Head really matter now, or counting the money and make sure it's £70 and let's get this lesson started? Anyway, he does it. Then he sits down and starts asking me questions of why I want to be a driving instructor, what do I do? Just unnecessary questions. I was just there. At this point in time, I was having headaches. Like, come on, let's get straight to the point. Those days, I used to have sweets by my gearbox. I was doing manual, and as he was talking, he was just eating the sweets, and I'm there looking at this guy like, those are my sweets, You haven't even started teaching me what I need to do. You're eating my sweets. But me, I'm a cool guy. I just like let him eat what he needs to eat. Anyway, after I left that day, I think he was talking for nearly 45 minutes. Then we drove for another 20 minutes, because he was showing me my teaching technique, how to teach somebody. Even though I knew what to do, but I needed to know what to do to pass the exam, because I'd already started teaching a long time ago, practicing. Anyway, so he gave me some few lessons. He was teaching me for about another 20 minutes or so. Then we stopped. We came back to his house, we stopped, then more talking. I think I only had 30 minutes lesson. So I left that day and I was so upset, because me as a person, when people come to me, except you're very, very, very new, never driven before, maximum 30 minutes of talking, 30. After that, the person ain't gonna understand what you're saying to them. So 30 minutes of talking, and then I make them drive, because that's what they came for. And after that, the next time, maybe another 10, maximum, at the worst 15, but it's not even up to 10 minutes. I asked you what we learned last lesson. Okay, this is what we're doing today. Let's drive on, let's go. Because the more you drive, the better you get. Anyway, after the lesson, I went home and I was really upset. I was really mad. I was like, oh, I've just thrown away money. I didn't want to go back. I had a friend that said, you know what you need is inside this person's head, so you need to go back to him. So I then summoned courage again, picked up my money. But this time when I was prepared. So I got there early as usual. I called the man. Again, it took his time to come down. I don't know what, he was much older then. So I put that into consideration. But this time, the money that he likes to arrange queen, I made sure I arrange everyone facing the queen. And I put it on the dashboard. So as soon as he came close, got inside the car, I pressed lock the button, I took all the money, gave it to him, and then he counted it. Okay, no need of turning, put it inside his pouch. I like stage one. Okay, now what we learning today? We carried on. But if I tell you, even after 2-3 months, I didn't even understand what this guy was teaching me. But I kept going. I didn't know what the examiners actually need, but I just kept going. After 3 months, I said, "Oh, do you think I'm ready to go for my part 3?" He said, "No, you're not ready." I said, "Okay." Carried on for another month. I asked him, "Am I ready?" He said, "No." I carried on going. Then I think on the fifth month, he said, "Oh, you can book your test, but you got 50% chance passing." I said, "Okay, 50%. No, that's still a chance." So then I booked the test. The day before the test, I went for a lesson. He taught me. Then now he said to me, this was one of the most crucial points. So you see, I understand when learners come and you're trying to teach them and they're not understanding, they're just thinking, "Oh my God, I really understand," because I was with this guy for 6 months and I still did not understand what I needed to do. But on this day, a day before the test, he now called me and said, "Oh, do you want to sit at the back of the car and watch me teach?" And I was like, "Okay, that's not bad. I'll sit down and watch you teach." The next person, he was doing an ADI test as well, part 3. I said, "No problem." So I jumped in the back seat. Now, you must understand, every student is different, and this instructor deals with everybody differently. Some people he will have so much energy for. Some people will have less energy for. So I sat down. Okay, he was a person. He was white, and the student that he was teaching was white. Me, I'm more of different color, so I was at the back. So you can see the banter between the both of them. He was teaching, and that's when everything just clicked at that point in time, because I needed to see what I needed to know, what to do for this exam. And the main purpose of it was, there's 2 parts of the exam. The first part, you train the student as if he's a baby, a new beginner. You have to guide them, coach them to do everything. Have you checked your mirrors? Have you indicated? Is it safe? Turn, those kind of things. That's the first part of the exam. The second part is a person that already knows how to drive, so you need to wait for them to make a mistake, tell them the mistake, and then give them remedy for the mistake and allow them do it again so they don't repeat it again, and make them do the route or whatever they're doing, redo it again, doing it the right way. Simple. And I didn't get it. So boy, if I didn't stay behind and do the piggy bank, probably won't be a driver's instructor by now. So lesson learned. So if you sit down behind another driving instructor while he's teaching that person, pay attention, because when he's teaching you, you might have not understood, but when he's teaching somebody else, you could understand. But anyway, that's my story for today. Thank you for watching and have a blessed day. ST over and out. Goodbye.